Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you, thank you. Oops, thank you. Well, welcome to the 11th International Alexander Technique Congress. Welcome to Chicago, and welcome to beautiful Loyola. We are so excited to have you here. It's taken, Jamie and I have been working on this for the past 3 years, and to arrive at this moment and to have all of you here, I'm just very grateful. So thank you, thank you. And with that,
we're going to ring
I
the bell.
should ring the bell. Woo! If some of you got to see the slideshow that was up here, you know, it's been 32 years in the making. It took us 32 years to get back to the US from Stony Brook, New York. And we're so grateful for all of you who have come from afar to join us. And we look forward to having a great week. We're very excited about all of our speakers, and we hope we'll have some more announcements in a little bit, but...
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm so glad to be here because I'm not from America. I'm not from the United States. I'm Irish, and I live in England. And so I've actually been learning a new language. Because I'm abroad, I'm overseas, so it's unusual.
I've been tutoring him.
Yes. I'm a slow learner. I wonder how many other people are here for the first time.
The first Congress. Woo! All right.
Can you all stand up?
Well, welcome.
Wow,
Thank
welcome.
you.
That's great. And I think that means this is definitely an American-flavored Congress. Yes, and thank you for showing up. The slide that you'll have seen earlier pointed out that there were 32 countries represented here, so it's also... It's truly international, and 32 is the same number as the continuous learning teachers who are working for us in the morning, so there's a nice link up.
It's 29 countries and 42 states and 32 years.
Okay.
So just to talk a little bit about the evening, we have some wonderful entertainment for you, and then after, we'll have the improvised Shakespearean theater, or company come, and then we'll have David Hyde Pierce, and then we'll end with some jazz this evening. So without further ado, I'd like you to all sit back, relax, and welcome the Shakespearean, improvised Shakespeare Company.
We are so glad to be here. Everything that you are about to see on this stage right now will be made up on the spot. Nothing has been planned out, nothing has been rehearsed, and nothing has been written. All of the dialogue is said for the first time. We've memorized no lines. The characters are created before your very eyes. And if ever you're wondering where the story is going, so are we. Now, in just a moment, I'll ask any one of you to make up a title for tonight's play. And then, for the first time in the history of the world, assuming a linear theory of time, you will witness on this stage the world premiere of that play. Coincidentally, also the closing night of the very same play. We will do it in one rousing act, and we will do it all using the styles, the themes, and the language of the immortal bard, William Shakespeare. And now, without further ado, would someone so moved or inspired give us the title for tonight's play? What did you say? The Alexander Congress. Okay, great. Original. We'll take it.
So our first guest tonight speaking is Emmy and Tony Award winner David Hyde Pierce, who made his professional and Broadway debut in 1982 as the waiter in Christopher Durang's Beyond Therapy. He is currently on Broadway as Horace Vandergelder in the revival of Hello, Dolly, opposite Bette Midler, and the show has broken box office records at the Shubert Theater. Some of David's film credits include Crossing Delancey, Little Man Tate, Full Frontal, Down with Love, and Bug's Life, among others. His television credits include a short but happy stint in Norman Lear's political satire, The Powers That Be, along with a very long stint, something that we might all know, as a psychiatrist as Dr. Niles Crane on the NBC sitcom Frasier. David has studied for the past 5 years with Barrett Akaya, who was the one who introduced us to David, and so we're very grateful to Barrett. And so we'd like to welcome David Hyde Pierce.
I was having a voice lesson with my then voice coach, Victoria Clark, great Broadway actress and singer, Victoria Clark. And I was talking to her about this, and I said, yeah, I lose my voice during the show, and I do have a kind of lingering hoarseness now. And I said, and also, I have a pain in my neck. And she gave me a look as if I said, and also I'm possessed by Satan. And then she looked like she was possessed by Satan, and she said, you have to see Barrett. And the deal was that Vicki had a similar situation. She had been performing in the musical Sister Act, and for the first time ever in her career, she had lost her voice and actually had to miss performances. And the deal was she was playing a Mother Superior in a convent, and with fantastically Alexandrian irony, she was undone by her habit. Interesting how people divide on that. Some people liked it, some people thought it was appalling. No, it's true, her wimple weighed too much and bowed down her head. It put her head and neck out of alignment, leading to neck pain and loss of voice. And Vicki's Alexander teacher had saved her. So now it was my turn. And full disclosure first, I'm in love with Barrett Arkea. Aside from our collaborating for 5 years now on Alexander, she is a dear friend and a trusted advisor. And she is my experience of the Alexander technique. And she is also, for those of you who know her, she is one of a kind. And although we are all one of a kind, she is one of a kinder. Our first meetings, I remember very vividly. She was gracious and kind. She knew my work. She spoke about it. Of course, I had the laying on of hands, which, if you've had that from a great Alexander teacher, you never forget. And then she said something that really stopped me cold. She said, you know, as an actor, you're doing too much. And at this point, I was about 54 years old, in the hopefully middle of a career that had started in my mid-20s, and by then I'd sort of become known, and I certainly prided on myself, on being a minimalist as an actor. My idols were Buster Keaton and Alec Guinness. Even my film career at that point, I thought I had the gift of taking a small role and making it seem smaller. So this idea that the little that I was doing was too much kind of threw me for a loop. But it also opened up a world of possibility that I'd never considered, as did her subsequent explications of how life and fear and gravity and habit conspire to cloud our perceptions and our proprioceptions of the world and of ourselves. You all know the exercises we did, crazy, inane, mundane things like sitting down, lying down, standing up, monkeying around. etc. Each of these, seemingly simple activities booby-trapped with opportunities to do too much in the wrong direction, and with opportunities to not. And Barrett would paradoxically reassure me by saying, "You don't know." That's helpful advice. You don't know. Or she would toss me in between the Scylla and Charybdis of, not this, not that. Well, together, in honor of our brilliant Shakespeare colleagues here, I will say this, that we, through indirection, found directions out. You can guess the outcome. I was ultimately able to do the speech unimpeded, but the surprise to me and to my castmates was the effortless flow of emotion and spontaneity, and connection that came into my acting, not just in that speech, but throughout the play, and not even just on stage, but in my life. It has been said that the eyes are the window of the soul, but I'm not so sure. I think it might just be the neck. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I just want to say a quick thing about that. It was funny, as I was preparing to come here, as you say, I've worked almost for 30 years with the Alzheimer's Association, and their national headquarters is in Chicago. And last week, they had their International Congress. And as I would prepare this speech, every once in a while, instead of saying Alexander, which I haven't said that often, I would say Alzheimer's. And I thought, well, but here's the thing. What I realized is that for any of you who have dealt with someone or a loved one who has a dementing illness, the thing that you must always do is meet them where they are. And that is what Barrett and the best of you do with us. You meet us where we are. It's how FM started. And not where you think we should be or where we think we should be, and you build us up from there. And that is a great parallel and an incredible way to treat all people. So thank you.